everybody. Hey, everybody. This is HQ again. Now, we just discovered a new show by Arletta Mooney, right? It's called Blind Date Love. I guess it may be a version of that Pop the Balloon, but there is no balloons involved. Now, the first episode involved five guys and a beautiful young lady. So we want to see how she makes her choices, and we want to find out whether maybe we would have made a better choice. So it's called the new show, Blind Date Love, with Arlette Mooney. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the candidates.
Have you introduced yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Sherelle. I'm 22. I'm an architectural drafter. So I came on the show today like I'm ready to find love. So I'm really excited.
Okay. Just so the guys can know a little bit more about you, what are some things you like to do for fun?
Yeah, so a lot of my spare time is usually spent with my friends or my family, but personally my own hobbies, I've recently been getting into DJing.
Okay.
I don't do it in public yet, but and that's something I like to do for fun, and going to the gym, that's just my usual go-to right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we do have 5 single men on the other side of this curtain.
Mhm.
I know they're just waiting to hear more about you and you more about them.
Absolutely.
And we do see here you have a set of questions.
I do.
And we're going to go through each round. You're going to ask them a couple of questions, whatever it is, get to know them. And after each round, I'm going to have you eliminate a guy until we are down to your match.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes, I am.
Guys,
So
are we
excited.
ready? Are we ready over there?
Most definitely.
Yes.
Okay. They don't sound ready to me, but whatever. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and have you start with your first
Yeah.
question.
So my first question is can you state a fun fact about yourself, or just anything to let me get to know you more?
And let's start with your name and age as well. So we'll start with contestant number 1.
Hey, I'm contestant number 1. My name is Rich. I'm 25 years old. And I would say a fun fact for me would be being involved with kids. I love the community. So that's something that I'm most definitely interested in. Just being able to connect with children and to provide resources to people that are less fortunate.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
Good answer.
Contestant number 2.
I'm contestant number 2. I'm Andre. I'm 30. A fun fact about me is I like to make clothes. I taught myself how to sew. Taught myself how to do a lot of things. I like to be very hands-on with stuff.
And now for contestant number 3.
Contestant number 3, my name is James. What I like to do is mobile bartend. I run my own mobile bartending business. Been doing that for about a year and a half, and I really enjoy it.
Now contestant number 4.
Contestant number 4, my name is Tavier. I love to make music, love all things music, love to go to concerts, festivals, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. And contestant number 5.
Hi, I'm contestant number 5. My name is Kai. A fun fact about me, I guess, I love cars. I'm also an entrepreneur. I just bought my first water and ice store. I don't know. Loves of big money.
Okay. All right. Nice to meet you all. I'm very
Yeah, nice to
excited.
meet them.
Okay, go ahead and take it off with your next question for
Yeah,
them.
so definitely something I want to know about you guys is, have you ever cheated, and do you think it's a deal breaker in a relationship?
Okay, we jumped right on in.
Yeah.
Let's start with
Getting
contestant number
serious.
1.
Contestant number 1, in my younger years, of course, cheating is something that you do because you learn in a relationship. But in the older years, I wouldn't say so. So no. And then a deal breaker, would cheating be a deal breaker? What form of cheating? If you're communicating with someone else, I kind of feel like I'm someone who is a great man, so I don't necessarily kind of want to give in to that in a sense. But it's if you're so involved with me, there shouldn't be nobody else.
Okay.
Okay. Contestant number 2.
Contestant number 2, no, I never cheated, and it's definitely a deal breaker with me. I don't share.
All right. And contestant number 3.
Contestant number 3, yes, I have cheated. I don't think it's a deal breaker. I feel like it depends on the relationship, working on it, getting through it together, and just growing. And if you guys got to go your separate ways or move forward with it together, then that's what you got to do.
Okay. Contestant number 4.
Contestant number 4. Honestly speaking, I don't understand the reason to cheat because for me, I get in relationships because I, aspire that relationship. I want that relationship. So, personally, I haven't done that, but and I do think it's a deal breaker because if you've cheated once, you're probably gonna do it again. So.
Okay. And contestant number 5.
Contestant number 5. Personally, I've never cheated. I do think it's a deal breaker because I feel like it's a choice. If you chose to make that decision, step out on me, you willingly and consciously made that decision. So you weren't thinking about me or how I would feel. So personally, it is a deal breaker for me because if it were me, I would just leave personally.
That's a good answer. Some of these guys gave great answers, right? So HQ is going to eliminate the third dude. I'm going to eliminate James, the mobile bartender, simply off the bat because he said cheating is not a deal breaker for him, which means he doesn't care one way or the other about cheating. And that's not how you can conduct a relationship. You have to care about cheating. You have to care about what that person does when they're faced with temptation. You have to care about what you're going to do when you're faced with temptation. At certain particular points and in certain different relationships, cheating is not a deal breaker. If you're open to that, kind of dynamic, then of course cheating is not a deal breaker. But we're talking about him getting with one person, being in an exclusive relationship. So I would eliminate number 3. His name is James.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and throw in one more question in this round, and then we're gonna go ahead and.
So my last question for this round is: how open are you to therapy and issues related to mental health in men?
Okay, let's switch it up. Let's start with contestant number 5 first.
Ooh, contestant number 5. Sorry. My parents work in the behavioral health field, so I'm always open to. I'm kind of hip to it. I'm not against therapy. I just hope it's for the right reasons. It's not trying to prove a point or try and get over on somebody of pointing out their downfalls or where they lack. But I'm definitely down for it.
Okay, contestant number 4.
I'm contestant number 4. I think therapy is very important for everybody. And personally speaking, I've dealt with some issues that, I needed therapy myself with, but didn't really go seek that. So I, feel like that's very important for everybody to do, to experience. So, yeah.
Okay. Number 3.
Contestant number 3. I think mental health is really important, but I'm not the type to really go to therapy right now. I'm open to it, but I'd rather just communicate and see where it is with it.
Contestant 2, I would say I'm open to it. I've actually been to therapy when I was in the military, so yeah, it's definitely helped me out. So I wouldn't mind going. Like if I had a problem, I wouldn't mind going to seek therapy.
Okay, and number 1.
Contestant number 1, I say I'm most definitely open to therapy. I've been in therapy. I do social work as well, and so I'm helping people out all the time. And so even healing journals, Black men healing journals, if those individuals who never had one get one. So I'm all in support of mental health.
All right. We got this round. This round, I probably would eliminate number 4 with the flame clothing. Why would I eliminate him? Simply because he knew he had trauma and he never got any help for the trauma. So my whole point is, if you know you have issue, why didn't you get help when you had issue? And he seems to be really young to me. So of course you probably have trauma if you were related to maybe being born from a single mother or a single father or this, that, and the third, because he's not old enough to have been through too many relationships. So it's not trauma from a relationship. It's trauma from family. So if you know you had trauma, why didn't you go get any kind of help or talk to someone, right? So far, HQ would have eliminated number 3 and number 4, because everyone is always saying, why haven't you eliminated the red flags? You see a red flag and you get the hell away from it. For expedient purposes, we're eliminating as we go. I'm saying for me, number 3 would be eliminated already, because he said he didn't feel the need to be faithful in a relationship. And number 4 would be eliminated because he had trauma and he's never addressed that trauma. So let's continue.
All right. I know you heard a lot.
I did hear a lot.
So unfortunately, it is time where we do have to eliminate someone from, our lineup of men.
Yeah.
From the 5 different guys we've heard, whose answers weren't you really resonating with?
I think for me, the person I wasn't resonating with the most was contestant number 3.
Okay.
Reasons is the cheating, and I don't think that's something in a relationship that you can necessarily jump back. I'm sorry.
Like backpedal from,
Yeah,
recover from, I guess.
I don't think that's something you can necessarily work through. So yeah, that's my reasoning. And
Okay, so we're eliminating contestant number 3.
contestant number 3.
Okay,
yes.
contestant number 3, let's have you come on out.
All right, we on the same page, me and her. Because people are always saying, you women need to choose better. You women need to choose better. Okay, me and her are choosing at the same time. She has the same instincts that I have. Look, I'm drawing on 30 years of being married. I'm drawing on knowing how to read signs from men and women. I'm drawing on all of the experiences that I've had regarding relationships and what works and what doesn't work. And I know for a fact, if you don't have a steadfast thought or resolve about cheating, usually relationships will not work. They will not last. So she has the instincts. So far, she's choosing right.
You want to go right on over there? All right. So if you want to remind us of your name again.
James.
Okay. So James, she ended up eliminating you because of, the cheating thing and all of that. If you want to kind of elaborate on what you stated a little bit more, or do you understand where she's coming from
I
as well?
understand where she's coming from. I feel like it's a deal breaker for a lot of people. Like I said, it depends on the relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
Well, we do thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. I
so much.
Thank you
appreciate
for your
it.
time.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
See, you shouldn't even entertain it. It should not even be entertained. If you want a relationship to work, then you should go into it in good faith. I get what he was saying. He was saying it depends on the relationship, but most relationships depend on you having some kind of faithfulness or some kind of track record that says you're going to be faithful to me, I'm going to be faithful to you. Because most people don't want to be cheated on, right? Okay, let's go.
Okay, that was our first elimination.
That was our first elimination.
Let's go ahead and move on to round 2. Hit them with the
Okay,
first question.
yeah. So my first question for the second round for you guys is, do you prefer a partner that's more similar to you or different?
Okay, let's start with contestant number 1.
Contestant number 1, I would say it kind of depends. I feel like differences can make each other better, but also those similarities are important as well, because I want to do things with you. I want to go places with you, but we do have differences. Then I would be comfortable with learning what you like, and then you learning what I like, and then we do it together.
Good answer, boy. Good answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, contestant number 2.
Contestant number 2, I would say it kind of just depends on the relationship. Obviously, we would have to have some things that are different so that I would be able to get to know you and you would be able to get to know me. But on the other hand, we would definitely share some of the same things as well, because I mean, if we're going to be working on something or a relationship, we are obviously going to have some of the same interests, but it's kind of going to go both ways.
All right, and contestant number 4.
I'm contestant number 4. I'll just say, pretty similar to these guys. It does really depend. For me, I find like the more you're similar with somebody, the more, you can connect with them. So for me, I like to make music and do all things music related. So I like to go to concerts, festivals, do fun things, you know what I mean? And if you're not into that, it might just, it might hinder, our relationship just slightly. But I'm open to anything, to be honest with you. So,
Yeah.
And number 5.
Contest number 5. I'm kind of agree with everybody else. I do like the mix of the two, but I do like having differences. I feel like me personally, I like to hear like a different side of a story or a different view. Especially me, I'm very used to kind of hearing people being the same idea. So I like hearing that, that other perspective on it, personally. But yeah.
All right. They all gave great answers, right? Because that's the beauty of it. Me and my husband, we were total opposites. He loved sports. He was a jock. You couldn't tell him anything about football. You couldn't tell him anything about any kind of sport. He was the man's man, right? I was the complete opposite. Nothing to do with sports. Don't know anything about sports. Never had a desire to learn it or anything. Where he was a hard person, I was a soft person. When he was a person that adored everything there was to be, related to home and house and that kind of thing, I was more of I want to be a working person. I want to be a person that contributes to society. I wanted to be that type person. So we were complete opposites, but we were very attracted to each other, which kind of glued us together when we first got married. So I like these guys' answer. Sometimes opposites attract, and similar things are good too.
All right, good responses.
Yeah.
Let's hit him with another question.
Okay, so my second question for you guys is, what sets you apart from other men in today's dating culture?
Okay, let's switch it up. Let's start in the middle of the lineup. Let's start with number 2.
All right, contestant number 2. I would say what makes me different is I'm pretty hands-on, and you don't have to tell me stuff. Like, I pay attention to detail. And then like my background and, just things that I've been through, as far as like growing up around women, I was brought up around women. So like, I just kind of, I have more of a caring side. I'm not just like out here just, with no feelings, or like I actually think about my actions and stuff. And I'm the type, like, I don't do stuff that I don't want done to me, because like I take things to the heart. So once I'm not feeling a certain way about you anymore, like it ain't no coming back from that. So I kind of try to keep that in mind as far as like how I'm moving too, so I wouldn't want to do anything that I wouldn't want you to do to me, pretty much.
Okay. All right, and let's hear from number 5.
What sets me aside, I feel like I'm my own person. So as far as like making decisions, or just really, I feel like I've gotten as far as I've gotten based off my own experience and my own decisions I make. I'm not easily influenced, and if it's something I want to do, I'm going to do it. Obviously consideration to like, who I'm with, but I'm not like a follower. I make my own way, my own motion. So if I mess up, that's on me. I don't have to like drag anybody down with me. Like, I don't know, open my own 2 businesses by myself. I bought my dream car at 24. I just feel like I've just been moving at my own pace, doing my own thing. So I'm not really into like the other limelight or anything like that.
Well, let's see.
Okay, and number 4.
Contestant number 4. Ultimately, what makes me different is that I'm looking for marriage, to be real. Somebody I can build with, grow with, have kids with, spend the rest of my life with. So this is not just like a dating show for me. It's like, I want to get to know you. I want to know what you like, what you don't like. And hopefully, the connection builds and builds and builds, so we, can further that relationship and ultimately just grow together in harmony on one accord. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And contestant number 1.
Contestant number 1. I would say for me, just attention to detail. I think what makes me different is just I enjoy paying attention to detail, being deliberate in what I do. And so with that being said, like everything that we're going to set out to do, we're going to be the best to do it. So whatever dreams you have, we're going to conquer those. Whatever dreams I have, we're going to conquer those. And just like contestant 4 said, you date to marry. So that's the intention. And so with the intentionality and us coming together, what's stopping us?
All right. Ladies, don't fall for that number 4. Don't fall into that trap. Because every time y'all hear somebody say some crap about being married, you get all wet. Look at the person that you're talking to. He's probably younger than the rest of them and great. He wants to get married, but he's not expressing himself as maturely as the other ones are. Okay? He's jumped right out the motherfucking window. I want to get married and blah, 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 blah. Okay, great. But don't fall for that shit yet. Don't fall for that shit because he's already behind because he said something about trauma and he's not facing the trauma that he has. Wait.
Another question I want to know from you guys is, what do you think is your biggest red flaw or flag?
Okay, let's start with contestant number 1.
Contestant number 1, my biggest red flag, it would be my heart. My heart put me in bad spots of just kind of people who do me wrong to be able to continue on and love them. And I think sometimes that can get you taken advantage of.
Contestant number 2.
Contestant number 2, I would say the same thing. Kind of like just my heart for real. Like I be just too caring and like I look past a lot of stuff. I give way too many second chances, and you know, like I like to be for my people. So if I mess with you, I'm gonna give you 1,000 chances before I really just be like, all right, I'm done.
Who the hell gives people thousands of chances? Nobody is supposed to. You're only supposed to give them 1 or 2 shots to break your heart. You should never give anybody 3-4 times.
So that's kind of like my biggest flaw right there.
Okay, number 4.
I'm not trying to steal their answers or anything, but honestly, it is my heart because I feel like I'm a very nice person sometimes, and then that kind of comes off and rubs off in the wrong way with certain people. So I just try to avoid doing that. You know what I mean? Because whoever I'm dating or pursuing to marry, that's who I want to be with. So I don't want anything else to come in between that. So yeah, I'll just say it's my heart, my caring nature. It's how my family is. It's how I grew up. So can't help it, but I'm working on it.
Okay. And our last guy, contestant number 5.
Contestant number 5, I feel like for me, it's probably going to be like my personality. I'm a people's person, so I do network, and it's easy for me to talk to people and kind of like, get my way of being myself into a room. I feel like that, especially if I'm going to be with somebody, I feel like they have to be able to understand that and know that like, I'm not like a quiet person, so I am going to be out networking. And I feel like, they just have to be strong enough and, have enough security to be able to withstand that and know that I do talk. I'm not like a very quiet person. It's gotten me into rooms I wouldn't have gotten if I was quiet. So I just feel like it just needs to be respected. Like, if I'm moving a certain way and I'm trying to do certain things, I expect you to understand that and allow me to do what I need to do to make sure we're good.
Now, we looking at the characters now. She's gotten plenty of information. Right? So if she looks at number 1, if she looks at number 2, I would eliminate number 2 and number 4. That would just be me. Number 2 and number 4. Number 2, because for one thing, he seems like he's simpish, smaller, puts his heart on his sleeve, and women would run over a man like that. So I would eliminate number 2. That would be my elimination, right? And number 4. That would be my elimination. 2 and number 4, right? Number 4, because he said he had trauma and he never addressed it. And because he said something about marriage, and good and well, as young as he is, he seems younger than the rest, that he threw that marriage thing out there just to hook her up, because women's ears perk up when they hear shit about getting married, right? So let's see who she picks or eliminates.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, guys. That was round 2.
It's round 2.
So it's time to eliminate someone. Who are you leaning towards eliminating?
I am leaning towards contestant number 1. I'm just kind of not feeling that initial draw to him.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my reasoning today.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to have you stand on over there, and let's go ahead and bring out contestant number 1. Oh, hello.
Hey.
You can remind us of your name again?
Rich.
Rich,
Rich.
okay, Rich. So she ended up eliminating you. I think she said she wasn't really feeling your responses. How do you feel now that you've seen her? How do you feel now that you've seen him? Like, what's
Yeah.
going through your head?
I mean, very beautiful. I mean, you got to be
Thank you.
yourself and be honest. So that's how I move.
Absolutely.
Was there anything specific he said that you were like, oh no?
No, I think I was just kind of leaning more towards other responses
Okay.
versus his. So obviously, I don't want to waste your time if I'm not getting that initial like impression or spark. So that's my reasoning today.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much
All
for
right,
coming
thank
on,
you.
Rich.
Appreciate
All
y'all.
right.
All right, she jumped out the window. I'm not saying he would have been my choice. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is he gave the better responses. Not than all of them. He gave the more mature, better responses than some of the rest of them, right? So she kept the two I said that should have went out the window already. Now, let's go on to that round number 3. I wouldn't have dumped him, but that's just me.
Let's go ahead and move on up. All right. So we are now left with contestant number 2, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. We're down to our 3 remaining guys. Let's go ahead and go on
so
to round 3.
my first question for you guys will be like, what is your favorite pastime?
Okay. Let's start with contestant number 2.
My favorite pastime would be working on my businesses. Like, so I own a clothing line, so I like to make clothes. I make a lot of clothes from scratch. I like to think of a lot of new designs for upcoming seasons and stuff I want to drop. I also breed French Bulldogs, so I be with my dogs a lot. Or, you know, I do trucking as well, so I own a trucking company, so I like to take a drive. I'll take a drive at night and pretty much just get out, see the scenery, you know, relax, just enjoy my time, peaceful time. I kind of like to, you know, just be in my own little area, just, you know, doing my own thing, not too much going out or anything. I like to, you know, find activities or something, or, you know, really just work on myself for real. If I'm gonna pass time, I at least want to work on myself and go ahead further, continue chasing my goals and get into where I want to go.
Okay. Thank you. Let's hear from contestant number 4.
I would say my favorite pastime is traveling. I really, really, really love to travel because there's so much beauty in traveling. Get to meet new people, network, try new cuisines and all that different kind of stuff. And I like to do a lot of adrenaline rushing things while I'm traveling, or, you know, while I'm at home too. But yeah, I would just say overall, I really, really love to travel and go see new things, different things, because the world is so big and there's so many people in the world. So it's like, why not experience it, you know, and learn it for yourself. And it also opens your mind to new things, new people, how they act versus how you act, because a lot of us can be very, very limited to our current situations or environments. And that's one thing I dislike, is to just have a one-sided mind. I like to be open to all people, understand all people. So traveling helps me open up and learn new things, see new things, taste new things, do new things, all the above.
Okay. Thank
Mhm,
you.
yeah.
And let's hear from contestant number 5.
Contestant number 5, I do love the gym. I feel like that's like the greatest outlet in the world. I feel like we deal with all types of problems every day in our lives. I just feel like we all need to have a good positive outlet. Besides that, I'm gonna go back to my car. I love my car. I bought a Hellcat. I love it. It's the best thing in the world. I do like what contestant number 4 said, traveling. Traveling is great. It's nice to see the world, especially for how big it is, especially when you live like in a local area and you haven't really been out. You don't understand how big the world is. Like when I went to Paris, opened my mind. I'm like, yo, this is real. Like this world is a real thing. So definitely the gym, my car, and traveling for sure. Pastime.
Okay.
Yeah. I definitely felt them on the traveling part as well.
Mm.
Me myself, I've been
So we're gonna weed out number 2. We're gonna weed out the first guy. Okay, we're gonna name them 1, 2, and 3. Okay, because it's confusing. But number 1, I would get rid of number 1, and I keep the other 2, number 2 and 3. Let's see which one she get, because the number 2 and 3 have given the best answers so far. the best answers for her kind of lifestyle. Number two, no, the first one, not so much. Let's see.
Into 26 countries.
Okay.
So I completely understand. I think it definitely opens your mind to
Yeah.
new worlds and just gets yourself out of that bubble of, living here in the US.
Exactly.
So yeah, it was really great to hear.
Nice.
My next question for you guys though is, if you could take me anywhere on a first date, where would you choose and why?
Okay, let's start with contestant number 4.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like doing things that build core memories for us. So, I know how to cook, so I'd like to cook for you.
See, this one, at first he started out real trashy, right? Because he was the one who said he had trauma and he never addressed the trauma, right? So he could have been saying some buzzwords, we don't know. But he has emerged into his personality. And he seems to be a little bit more articulate. He seems to be a little bit more worldly. He seems to be a little bit more thoughtful. And you try to get those kind of people to have relationships with who are not stuck in a certain mindset, right? And so even though he threw out the marital buzzword, he still may be a candidate. He just seems young. Maybe he's not, but he's coming from behind. He's coming from behind, y'all.
Take you home, we can go to the movies, do whatever activity we both enjoy doing together. I definitely want to do that. But apart from that, if that's not something that's in the picture, I would say, a fancy dinner, because we got to pop out, because, we that couple. But other than that, picnic in the park is cool too. I can cook some food. We can go to the park, enjoy that, watch the sunset,
Romantic.
nature, all that good stuff. So I'll just say anything that's really building core memories. Whoever I'm getting to know, I want to know what you like. So by the time we're doing these dates and things like that, I will already have like a mental picture of what's going to make you smile, what's going to make you laugh, and all that stuff. So
Okay. All right, let's go ahead and hear from contestant number 5.
Contestant number 5, for a first date, I like to have fun, and especially if I don't know you, don't know me, we need to meet on a neutral ground. So I would probably find like a little cool speakeasy, trying to show you a little something different, a little hole in the wall type of vibe. Yeah, I like them speakeasies. There's a few of them out here, so definitely probably there, a restaurant, something. I mean, yeah, I'd probably go the speakeasy route and get a little snack.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. And contestant number 1. I'm sorry, contestant number 2.
Contestant number 2, it would kind of just depend, once we started texting and I kind of felt the vibe, kind of see which way I would more lean towards. But I would say something like outdoors, like something cool, like cool vibe, something not too, nothing like no club or nothing, or just something that we could both at least have a conversation at and, like enjoy the vibe and, see some scenery or something. Might go somewhere. It might be a little something fun at the end of the night, like, some arcade type vibe or some type of activity or something that, we could just chill out, hang out, nothing too much high pressure or nothing, something relaxed, so we could actually get to know each other and it's not, so much pressure and so tense, just come and have fun and, just really fill each other out.
Okay.
All right, we have one more question for this round.
So my final question for this round is, why do you think most relationships fail today?
Okay, let's start with contestant number 2.
I love that question. I would say social media for sure. Social media is like, it has everyone thinking it's just so much out there that it's not. And then like a lot of people are really just into the hype right now. Everyone is just so focused on not missing out on something, and they think that they're gonna miss out on something. So it like kind of tends to make people do things that you wouldn't even normally do or even really want to do, but you just don't want to miss out and you want to be a part of the vibe or the whatever scene is going on. So I would definitely say like social media is a part, and like just like not being present versus being just in a whole nother world instead of being where you are.
And contestant number 5.
Contestant number 5, I'm definitely gonna agree on the social media part. I also think music has a part to play into this. I feel like nobody really thinks for themselves nowadays, and it's like somebody's favorite artist says something, they're gonna automatically believe it and go through it. And I just feel like it's just not, like, for example, if you go out, you're gonna see the same people going out. But if you look at it on social media, it looks lit. But if you see them at the club, they're just standing around, like, just doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, it looks cool, but if you're really there, if you really know what's going on, you're gonna be like, yo, it's not really what's going on. So I definitely agree. Social media and music is just jading everybody's minds, and it's not how the real world works. It's just not. So social media and music is what I'm gonna say. Nobody really thinks for themselves anymore.
Okay. And contestant number 4.
I'll keep it short, but basically, I'll say lack of communication. It's very, very big to communicate.
My pick for that round would be number 2, the young guy with the flames on, because he's saying everything right.
Okay, when you're in a relationship, because when you think about it, you're gonna get married to this person, hopefully, and if that happens, things aren't always gonna be so bright. So the best way to solve those issues, those problems, is to communicate. And I found like a lot of my friends, a lot of people I'm around, have problems with the relationships just because they're going to other people to talk about this and that their significant other did. And it's like, if you would have just went to your significant other the first time, you probably wouldn't have had that issue, that problem, whatever the case may be. You could have solved it in the blink of an eye. But because you decided to go to social media, like my boy said, or you listen to the music and let that influence you, or whatever the case may be, it's like it's not gonna work. Even if you don't do those things and you don't have communication, you got to have communication overall.
All right.
Wow. Let's see who's the eliminated.
It is the end of this round.
It is the end of the round.
I know those are pretty good responses.
I'm saying if she has to eliminate one, I would eliminate number 1. I would eliminate the first guy, right? I would keep the last guy, and I would keep the guy with the flames on his shirt. Those are my choices because they seem to have more on the ball, or they're more articulate, and they're more focused.
They're great responses.
Unfortunately, we do have to get rid of one of those guys. We got to eliminate him.
So the person I'm picking this round to eliminate will be contestant number 2.
Okay, I'm gonna have you stand on.
Yep. See, she's picking like she's supposed to pick. She's picking how she's supposed to pick, and we haven't even seen these guys. See how that works. Women, we like looks, of course, but when you have a conversation, you know how to speak, you know how to articulate what you're talking about, you know how to articulate how deep your thought processes have gone. We usually go with that particular person, and we try to. This is a good show simply because we aren't focused on looks. We're focused on the answers that they're giving. And she picked and eliminated the first guy, which was correct. She has the 2 guys that are last that she should have last.
On over there. And contestant number 2, let me have you come on out. All right, you can stand right over there. Okay, so why did we lean towards eliminating contestant number 2?
I think for me, when it came around to that date question, I kind of feel like it was not really like a lot of effort thought or put into it when it came to what could possibly be done. But that's just me. Like, I'm definitely like a more outgoing girl, I feel like. So I don't know, I just feel like I didn't really resonate that much with your answer today.
All right. And then sorry, if you can remind us of your name again.
Andre.
Oh, Andre, you don't got a mic?
I got it.
Oh, there you go.
Andre.
Andre, okay. Well, Andre, we do thank you so much for coming on. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, she wasn't really attracted to him anyway. Because, I mean, you could tell the way she wasn't looking at him. She wasn't looking him up and down. So she wasn't attracted to him anyway. So let's go.
Okay, we are in our final round. Final round. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue on to our questions. We do have contestant 4 and 5 left.
And she has the 2 that she's supposed to have. Number 1, with the flames, he stumbled out of the block a little bit with that trauma, right? Still concerned about the trauma, but we really don't know what the trauma is. So we're gonna see which one it is. This is James. I think his name is James, and I'm not really sure, or it may be Teru or something like that. But we're gonna see who is the best candidate. We're gonna pick the candidate we think is best for her.
So let's hit him with the first question.
So what I would like to know is, what is the most spontaneous thing you've ever done?
Ooh, okay. Contestant number 4.
I've done a lot of spontaneous things. So, for example, I drove myself across the country, changed my life. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, originally from Kenya, but I moved to LA and I drove myself over there to pursue my dreams and my career. But I will say the biggest thing I've done was, I would say, well, I'm gonna give you 2. I flew out of the country alone to London, had the best experience of my life. But the biggest thing I wanted to say was I jumped off like one of the buildings in Las Vegas. It's called the Strat Tower. It really boosted my confidence. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I can do anything. Like I'm fearful, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Yeah. All right, contestant number 5. Let's hear from you.
Contestant number 5, geez. The most spontaneous thing I think I've ever done was kind of the same thing he did. Traveled a little bit. Went to Paris for a week, then took a train to Amsterdam. Was there for a week. You know, that traveling stuff and going out the country was really just a nice break from everything. But that's probably the most spontaneous thing. I was like, yeah, let me get my passport, start checking off these countries, getting these stamps. Went to Jamaica too, but nothing compared. I was out in Paris for Fashion Week, so I was like, I gotta go. I need to get lit, and that's what I did. Yeah.
Okay.
What would you say is the most spontaneous thing you've done?
Oh, wow.
She said, I wasn't expecting this.
I feel like I've done a lot in my life, but kind of piggybacking off of like them is just definitely being able to solo travel, as well as like with my best friend. We actually share the same birthday, so we always travel together, and I feel like my times with her are just always so grand, and I'm so appreciative of the time we have together. So I would say like my times with her is always just so spontaneous. It's just, I love it. Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and start off with that second question.
So my second question is like, what's a long-term goal you guys would like to achieve?
Okay, let's start with contestant 5.
Oh, I'm sorry. Contestant number 5. Definitely financial freedom. I do not like stress. I mean, I know it's a part of like everyday life, but I know like me personally, I like to, have a good time. So I would love to be, I understand financial freedom is not necessarily like super duper 10, but I would love to just be able to do whatever I want. I just feel like I don't want to stress about bills, yada, yada. So I definitely think a long-term goal is to get myself good now. So in the long run, I don't really have to worry about stuff like, like I said, I just bought my dream car at 24. I'm about to be 25. So I kind of let you know where I plan on heading. So I'm just like, I don't really care about, the fun stuff now. Like I can do that later on if I just know to play on my cards right. So right now it's time to grind and build my legacy. So when I do decide to settle down, have kids and everything, I can do that without, really having to worry about it. So definitely financial freedom for sure.
Okay, contestant number 4.
Honestly, I'm really, really, really interested in building a family, because that's just something I didn't grow up with like a lot around me. As far as like intermediate family, I didn't grow up with a lot of that around me, but I have always had like cousins and aunties and uncles and stuff around me. But ultimately, it's just getting to where God wants me to be urgently, because
I love this kid. This kid come from behind, right? He pushing all the right buttons. Let's see. But you know what? Here's the truth. The guy in the white is the more stable one. The guy in the white is the one that she might be, it might be the better fit for her. simply because he's a little bit more mature. He understands the financial freedom. He understands he don't need buzzwords for him to come out. And you could tell by the way he dressed that he was like, you have to accept me for who I am, how I am, and this is how I come. The second guy is saying all the the flame guy is saying all the buzzwords: marriage, family, babies, legacy.
Because life is really, really short. And when you think about it, there really is no time. Like, there's no time at all to do anything. So I just want to do everything that I'm supposed to do, everything that I'm meant to do while I'm here. And I want to succeed and strive to that at the fullest of my capabilities, basically.
Okay.
All right, next question.
So my final question for this round is, how do you like to show your affection to the people you care about?
Okay, contestant number 4.
Quality time. Whoever I love is someone that I want to be around. So if that's you, then I just want to be around you and spoil you, treat you to what you like to do. But, you know, that goes vice versa. You know, we do that towards each other, which builds a better relationship versus one person just doing something. But honestly, it's quality time. Getting to know my partner, because you can never know someone 100%. There's always something that you're going to miss, or something that you need to know that you didn't know, something you can do better. And I know everyone likes attention, everyone, you know, in general. So showing that girl, that woman, attention is very important for me, because I know without that, there's a lot of problems that can, you know, that can hinder your relationship and whatever the case may be. And I don't want any problems in my relationship. So
you see why I put him behind the other guy, for the reasons that I stated before. But really, it's like he's grasping for words to say. And the guy in the white seems to already have thought about these things, thought about them, and then he has more of a cohesive answer, which is better for her, because she seems to be one of those people who stand on that kind of business too. So
it's just quality time, attention, and just love and care, really.
Okay. Yeah. All right, let's hear from contestant 5.
I think for me, showing my affection, like I said, I was raised a certain way, so it's definitely gonna be, I hate to say it, a little bit more on the materialistic side. I'm definitely in tune with my affections and obviously being able to speak. But I know me, like I said, I like nice things. So if you buy me some nice thing, that's my love language. So I'm gonna reciprocate that to you, as well as, you know, as well as a verbal and, like, you know, like reassure you side. Quality time for sure. It's just, you know, I like you, I'm gonna buy you a bag or something, you know, but that's only if you my girl. That's only if my girl though. Like, no, whatever. So but definitely I look nice, I want you to look nice, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of it.
So
All right.
Tough one.
We're down to our last 2 guys.
Our last 2 men.
Elimination time. Which one out of these 2 contestants, all of the responses really resonated with you? You loved what you heard, whatever it may be. Which one out of these 2 are we eliminating?
I think for me, it'll be contestant number 5. I think overall, I was kind of leaning towards the other person more.
I knew she was going to eliminate number 5, because number 4, the dude with the flame, said all of the buzzwords. He said all of the buzzwords, right? I picked number 5. She picked number 4. Okay.
And just like the attention to detail, and just like the intention of what you want going into a relationship and building that bond with the person. So I think the other person's answers resonated with me more versus contestant number 5 today.
All right.
See, that's what I don't like. I hope she did not pick him because he was saying all of the buzzwords. All of the things that you wanted to hear: marriage, family, traveling. He said everything that he thought she wanted to hear, right? But number 1, There was more sincerity in what he was saying. And he didn't say buzzwords at all, right? Let's see how she responds to number 5 when he comes around the curtain. Is she looking at him, looking at his height, looking at what he looks like? We can tell whether she was attracted to him or not.
Both great.
You can go ahead and stand on over there. All right, contestant number 5, come on out.
Good luck, man.
All right, I'll have you stand there. Okay, if you want to remind us of your name again.
Hi, my name is Kai.
Hi, okay. So you did end up eliminating him. Was there anything specific he said that you were like, oh, you know what? I'm definitely going to steer more towards contestant number 4?
I think it was kind of your last comment on my final answer in terms of the materialistic. I love gifts. I love giving gifts to my friends and my family. It's also another love language of mine, but I think like that bond is much more important to me than the other stuff.
No, for sure. Yeah. That's why I said, I was like, I was raised a certain way, so like I understand my view is gonna be a little different, but
okay,
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate you.
Nice meeting you as well.
Okay, you can stay right on there, girl. Okay. So you did end up picking contestant number 4.
I did.
So let's go ahead and bring out your match. Come on out.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'll have you just stand over here.
Sherelle.
Tavia, nice to meet you.
Yeah, you're beautiful.
Thank
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
you.
So I know you said a lot of his responses like really resonated with you.
Mhm.
What really like sealed the deal for you?
I just think like how I don't know, the way you articulated things, like that's just kind of how even I would respond to some of like my answers I asked today. And also your view on like mental health and everything, like that's so important to me. I'm a big advocacy for therapy. So yeah, I think that's just my final,
Okay.
I was just like, okay, like I think I'm leaning more towards this way. And I think like just as we went on.
Wait a minute, wasn't he the one who said that he had trauma, but he never really got any help for that trauma? I could have sworn that's who he was. He was the one who said that because I wrote it down. What is she talking about? He's the one who said he would not get help. What do you mean?
On that's just kind of sealed the deal for me.
All right. So now you see your day. How are you feeling? How are you feeling, sir?
Mr. Money Man. I'm just playing, no, but she's a beautiful young lady.
Yeah.
I loved your responses too when she did ask you, some questions. I really like your vibe and everything like that. You have a beautiful smile as well.
Thank you.
Yeah,
we're real happy.
All right. Well, I can't wait to hear about this follow-up.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope we get lots of dates and we hear good stuff.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
really, really happy for you too.
Can we go skydiving?
Oh.
Just playing.
Perhaps. All right. You guys keep going on.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning into this episode of Blind Date Love.
Now, this is the first episode. It was pretty good. I like this kind of format. It lets you get to know a person better than just popping the balloon. Popping the balloon is a good avenue, but this is better. Simply because you get to know the person from these kind of responses. That's the whole point of getting into a relationship. You get to know these 30 questions or so, or however many questions that you have for this person. That's the only way to know if this person is articulate, this person understands their emotions, this person understands how to express themselves, this person understands that you do these acceptable things or these unacceptable things, right? And it's just a small snippet into a person. But this is a better format than to pop the balloon. Great. You can go viral on some things, but this is not a go viral on show. This is an actually true Find Love show. And I think we will be doing more commentary on this. I would have picked number 5, the last guy with the braids, but it is what it is. So I'll see you guys in the next one.